The road to becoming a winner, a champion, and I'll talk about it in the WFG context, is a lonely road. I want to talk to you the truth, talk to you in truth, rather, about winning, specific to WFG. And I have such admiration for these people because it's a lonely road. The fact of the matter is, yes, we're a big company, yes, we're a team, but that road to success is riddled with self-doubt, with setbacks, with trials, with tribulations, with thoughts of quitting, thoughts of weakness, lack of faith creeping in, almost constantly. And so for the people that end up getting to that other side and become successful, they don't succumb to the negatives. They don't succumb to the fears. They don't succumb to the temptations of quitting. They don't succumb to the temptations of not sacrificing, taking it easy, getting life back to normal again.
11 and a half years ago is not the same guy you're looking at today. And that's probably true for most of the great leaders in this company. And one of the greatest rewards of this company is not what you get, it's who you become. And I'm glad somebody thought enough of that old Jeff Levitan to give him a chance. Just so happens that the guy who thought enough of me was a Chinese guy named Dean Chang, who spoke broken English.
I want you to give yourself the gift of changing your life while you're here, whether you come in here doing great things or not. You know, I want you to know this. Unreasonable people actually rule the world. Unreasonable people are the champions in this world. They do unreasonable things. The reasonable people around them think they're crazy. You got family members think you're so nuts, standing up, whooshing, clapping, you made your first million yet, all that kind of stuff. Some of you got spouses still think you're crazy. Is that right or wrong? All these people that love you, that are reasonable, that love you, that are reasonable, will cause you to have an average, ordinary life if you listen to them.
Are you ready? All right, here it is. Here it is. My entire management philosophy. Listen, the whole ball game, guaranteed to make you a superstar. Here it is. All you can do is all you can do. Hey! Hey! Is that brilliant? Listen. Now listen. Is that brilliant?
You were put here to do something great. You were put here to make a difference. You were put here to do something awesome. And don't ever forget that. And I don't believe, for most of you, that that's by coincidence, that you were put here to do something great. I'm telling you, you were put here to do something great. And that at the same time, you run into this incredible movement called WFG.
See, products don't win for you. Systems don't win for you. IQs don't win for you. College degrees don't win for you. You win. The difference is you. And the difference in you is the power of believing you can win. The power of believing that good things can happen to you. The power of believing that you're special. Folks, I believe this with everything that's in me. I believe the biggest single obstacle to success in the United States today is not lack of education. It's not lack of background. It's not lack of money. It's lack of belief in yourself.
There was an emphasis in the office, at meetings, at events of total commitment to growth. There were taglines often said at meetings such as, I know we're a peanut, but we ain't gonna stay no peanut. And later came, nothing matters but the size of your team, build a big base shop. Our teammates began to take ownership of their business. Promotions were starting to happen. Cash flow skyrocketed. The enthusiasm and excitement and intensity were electric in our office.
Because I'd be focusing on what was going to happen in the future, not what happened that day. See, a lot of you think about what's happening right now as opposed to what's happening. You focus on the now as opposed to what's going to happen in the future. See, I've always focused on what's going to happen in the future. What's happening now is a temporary situation depending on what I do, right? Just like you. Your situation right now, it's not permanent. It's temporary. It's either going to get better or worse depending on the action that you take. That's the way it is. So I knew I was taking massive action, so I knew it was going to get better, right? And I could see and I'd drive by a Mercedes-Benz or something. I said, man, I'd laugh. I'd look and I'd smile. I'd go, man, I'm going to have one of those. You know, I could already picture, I'm going to have one of those. Or I think about that home that and I'd be thinking about where I was going and not where I was at.
I'd ask you to examine your habits. Let's be honest. You got to examine some of these habits you have that don't serve you. Take a look at them. What are the things you need to do? You know, if it's a Wednesday afternoon and I followed you around, would I see you on 3, 4, 5 appointments? Would I see you on the phone? Would I see you talking to people? Honestly, in your quiet moments, if you're going to do something extraordinary, are you putting in an extraordinary effort? When you run into somebody that's in your family or someone you know, do you prospect them? Or when that moment of decision comes, do you do the other thing? I'd challenge you to do the thing that a great person would do.
Folks, I believe with everything that's in me, the biggest problem to winning in these United States is you not understanding human nature. See, folks, I believe it's human nature to fear. I believe it's human nature to worry. I'm a worrier. I thought because I worried every day, because I was scared every day, that something was wrong with me. That these people that drove the big cars, that lived in the big houses, that made the big money, that somehow they were different. They didn't look scared. They didn't look like they worried themselves to death.
The fear of poverty is a state of mind, nothing else, but it's sufficient to destroy one's chances of achievement in any undertaking. This fear paralyzes the faculty of reason, destroys the faculty of imagination, kills off self-reliance, undermines enthusiasm, discourages initiative, leads to uncertainty of purpose, encourages procrastination, wipes out enthusiasm, and makes self-control an impossibility.
Do you know one of my goals? Before they plant me in the ground, I would like to be positive, totally positive, for one 24-hour period just before I die. Right now, as positive and powerful as I am, I'll get excited and I'll go for an hour or 2 or 3, and then I'll start worrying. I'll start fearing something. It's your ability to deal with that and not let it destroy you.
Destroys the possibility of accurate thinking, diverts concentration of effort, it masters persistence, turns the willpower into nothingness, destroys ambition, beclouds the memory, and invites failure in every conceivable form. It kills love and assassinates the finer emotions of the heart, discourages friendship, and invites disaster in 100 forms, leads to sleeplessness, misery, and unhappiness. And all this despite the obvious truth, listen to this, that we live in a world of overabundance of everything the heart could desire, with nothing standing between us and our desires except the lack of a definite purpose.
Do you know it's easier to be negative than to be positive? Do you understand that? Do you understand, folks, you've got to work like stink to be positive? Do you understand the easiest thing in the world is to be negative? Folks, do you understand it's easier to be sad than happy? It took me years to find this out. Easiest thing in the world is to be sad. Easiest thing in the world is to be down in the mouth. Toughest thing in the world is to be happy.
You've got to get relentless with your business for a period of time. I went from working hard to believing and being relentless. And I believe that's one of the things you've got to do. You've got to get relentless with it. See, when you have a big dream, let me tell you up front that I promise you, like I know that I'm standing here, when you have a dream and you've decided you want to go do something, that a dream stealer or multiple dream stealers in many, many forms of what I call the adversary is going to attack that dream and attack you in very real, rational, productive ways and make every absolute effort they possibly can to steal your dream. They'll try to get you out of our business. They'll try to get you, if they can't get you out of our business, they're going to want to get you discouraged. The adversary, if you're a person of faith, uses discouragement as his nuclear weapon on taking dreams away from people.
I made $855,000 that year. I was in the field out working the guys on base shop. You know why I was? Because I can talk to them. I say, listen, what are you doing? I'm making $50,000 a month, $40,000 a month. You make no money, and you wrote 2 sales all month. What the hell are you doing all month? What are you thinking about? When you go home and you talk to your wife, what do you say to her? When you get up in the morning, what do you think about? When you're looking in the mirror, how could you stand it? Get going, get to work. And I talk to people like that.
Folks, my first 2 years in this business, I wanted to quit and go out and get a good job every day. My ego was crushed every day. Folks, do you understand now, before I sold my first plan, I was a crusader. I just didn't go out and sell life insurance to make the money. I studied this stuff.
When's the last time you really committed passion to something? Listen to me. Really committed passion and focus and dedication. You let it go. You said, you know what? I'm going to plant my feet. This is where I stand. This is where I make a statement about who I am as a man or a woman. This is the game I'm going to play. This is where I'm going to count the score. I'm going to allow myself to feel the disappointment when I don't do well, the pain of losing, that kind of a thing, and I'm going to go for it. And you need to accept that up front when you do that, dadgummit, it's not all going to be in balance. You need to accept God wants you to win. And number two thing you need to accept is not everything's going to be in balance. You can't allocate the same amount of time to the things you used to if you're going to win. You have to drop some things. You're going to be late to some things.
They ain't nobody ever designed a test, nor will they design a test that can measure the heart of a man or a woman. The things that are unique to winning in business in America today are not outside artificial things like IQs, college board scores, college degrees, and stuff like that. The key to winning in these United States is what's inside a person. It's your integrity. It's your people abilities. It's your character.
Number one, you got to be tough. You have to be tough, mentally focused. You have to be willing to do the things that all the average, ordinary players are unwilling to do.
See, folks, in trying to win in business, you're just going to have so many false starts. You think you get it going time after time, and you just get knocked back to ground zero, and it's your ability to compete, to pick yourself up off the mat one more time, to go for it one more time, that's going to determine success or failure.
Somewhere inside, you've got to be a little bit more intense, a little bit more passionate, a little bit more focused, and realize, bottom line, it's going to cost you a little bit to succeed.
Winning in business in America today is you've got to make a total commitment. Total commitment gives you that little extra ounce of courage you need to fight back through the tough times.
Winning is better than you ever dreamed. Any successful person who has made it will tell you that success is better than he ever dreamed. I can tell you this, I said it last night. As good as you think it is to win, as good as you think it is to become financially independent, Dave Olson, it's better than you think. Get your notes back out. You're going down the road of zero, bro. Get your notes
out. If you
out.
cut open the winners in business, I see a heart of a champion. And all these people are competitors and they don't quit. I believe desire and will to win is everything. I don't know why I'm like I am, but my butt's always burning. There's always something say, Art, dadgummit, you're supposed to go for it.
You need to put your game face on. You got to understand, you know what? This is my time to shine. This is game time. This is when I put my conviction on. I'm committed, and I'm passionate about what I talk about. By the way, some of you don't know me. I'm normally a shy person. I'm a shy person. I don't talk to too many people. But when it's game time, when my family's on the line, when I got to make some money, when I got to help some people, guess what? It's game time. It's conviction. This is what I need to do. This is what I'd recommend.
Can never be taken from you. And if you could move to knowing, if there just be something that came where you said, you know what, I just know this is where I belong. I like these people. I like what we stand for. I'd love to spend my life here. I'd love to be recognized. I'd love to make my family proud of me. I'd love to make a difference for people. I just know I belong. If you could just know it and not believe it, the world would be very different. Your world would change. See, you believe different things, but you know you love your children. No one gave you that belief. You know you love your parents. Is that not true? Yes or no? You know that. So the things that move our lives that are rocks are our knowings. And for most people, they go through their life with wandering beliefs here, there, and other, but have very few knowings as it relates to their purpose and their mission. I just want to thank you for being a part of my life and being a part of this meeting and believing in me. And I want you to know that I appreciate you and I respect you. And if you're willing to go the distance with me, I'll be there for you.